Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And give this video a like up. Bold and the Beautiful has Hope Logan about to shake Carter Walton to his core, demonstrating validity to Ridge Forrester's red flag theory on the CBS soap. Ridge pointed out all the red flags to Hope's movements. But what he said about Hope making this personal against Steffi Forrester opens Carter's eyes. And the Logan daughter doesn't like that at all. Bold and the Beautiful started the week off with Ridge Forrester, Thorsten K., seemingly having a heart-to-heart with Carter Walton, Lawrence St. Victor. While that sounded genuine, B and B viewers can't help but question if Ridge Forrester was playing Carter Walton. But what Ridge said to his former best friend seemed to make Carter take notice, especially his stern words about Hope Logan, Annika Noel. Ridge Forrester blames Hope Logan for Carter Walton's takeover. The famous Forrester dressmaker sees his once best buddy as a hopeless romantic. He names off all the women who Carter fell fast and furiously in love with since he's known him. But he warns his pal on Bold and the Beautiful this week that Hope is just another one of Carter's love infatuations. Then he points out how Hope has known Carter all these years, but the sudden romantic involvement coincides with her needing something. Carter Walton first poo-poos Ridge's theory, but then he says something that can't be denied. So it seems this is the start of the tide turning for the two, who were once best friends. On Bold and the Beautiful this week, Carter tells the man he once called his brother that Steffi's attitude in the workplace started all this. But Ridge Forrester then flipped it around. While Ridge agrees his daughter was wrong, he quickly switches over to Hope Logan's agenda for the coup. He tells Carter that his girlfriend is out to get Steffi Forrester, Jacqueline Miss Sinswood. So this takeover gives Hope the power over Ridge's daughter. It seems it didn't dawn on Carter Walton until Ridge said the words. But he is about to see evidence of his ex-buddy's observations on Hope Logan. The Logan daughter stood at the office door, seething over what she witnessed by coming in unannounced. Fury took over as she eyed Ridge and Carter Walton's embrace. Bold and the Beautiful threw in a lot of hints already this week as to where the Carter Walton-Hope Logan relationship is headed. Daphne Rose, Muriel Hilar, tells Steffi that she thinks Carter's guilt will bring him to do the right thing. So, Bold and the Beautiful fans hear Daphne sounding like she developed some feelings for the man she's attempting to lure her way for Steffi's plan. Last week we watched as Carter found Daphne hard to resist. Now in walks Hope Logan in the middle of his embrace with Ridge and B spoilers suggest she goes ballistic on Carter. But she likely says all the wrong words. Or the right words if you want Ridge's take on Hope to ring true. Carter probably hears how Hope Logan is mortified, and she will never work under Steffi again. But whatever her dialogue consists of, Carter likely catches her train of thought of squashing Steffi, just like Ridge said. So, if Hope slams the door on their relationship because Carter Walton decides to hand FC back over to the Forresters, he will know that Ridge and Steffi were right about her all along. Bold and the Beautiful will leave Carter Walton in a world of hurt if he finds Hope only used him to get what she wanted. Hope may break it off with Carter if he doesn't follow her wishes. But Daphne might take the sting out of Carter finding himself single again. Bold and Beautiful fans know Daphne has been playing him. But what about Ridge Forrester? Will he go home thinking his best friend made a mistake and be willing to give him another chance? Or will he walk into the Forrester mansion and boast that he played on Carter Walton's heartstrings this week on Bold and the Beautiful? Once he finds out that Daphne was part of the ploy to get FC back, he will likely look at the Forresters as using the same conniving ways that prompted the takeover in the first place. So Carter Walton may find he can save his friendship with Ridge Forrester, or becomes crushed if he learns this was just a ploy by the dressmaker to take back his company. But Daphne may be his crushing blow if or more likely when he finds out she was a Forrester plant on the CBS show. The Forrester Creations office had been the epicenter of countless shocking moments, but nothing could have prepared Carter Walton for what Hope Lovin had just revealed. As the usually composed legal counsel stood in stunned silence, Ridge Forrester's earlier words echoed in his mind. "People only show you what they want you to see, Carter," Ridge had warned, his voice heavy with experience and wisdom. "But when the truth finally comes out, it can change everything." Carter had brushed off the remark at the time. He had always believed he had a good read on people, especially Hope. She was the beacon of light in a storm of manipulation and deception, the kind of person who always did the right thing, even when it was the hardest choice. And yet, here he was, staring at her in disbelief. Hope, for her part, stood tall and unwavering, her piercing blue eyes locked onto Carter's, silently challenging him to react. "Say something," she finally urged, her voice steady despite the emotional storm raging within her. Carter exhaled sharply and ran a hand over his face, trying to process what he had just heard. "Hope, I don't even know where to begin." Her lips pressed into a thin line before she spoke again, slower this time. "I love my mother. I always will. But what if everything I've been taught about love, about family, isn't the full truth? What if my heart wants something different?" Carter swallowed hard. The weight of her words carried implications he wasn't sure he was ready to unpack. Hope Logan questioning love. That was a seismic shift in itself. And what made it more staggering was the fact that she was confiding in him. "Are you saying that you're having second thoughts about Liam?" Carter asked cautiously, not wanting to assume too much. Hope let out a small, almost bitter laugh. "Liam? No, Carter. I'm past second thoughts with Liam. I've reached clarity." She took a deep breath before she spoke the name that would change everything. Hope nodded slowly, her expression unreadable. "Yes. And before you say anything, I know exactly what everyone thinks of him. I've heard it all before. But Carter, I've seen another side of him. A side no one wants to acknowledge. Maybe I was blind before, or maybe I just wasn't ready to accept it. But now I see him, and I know what I feel." Carter felt as though the air had been sucked from the room. Thomas Forrester had a past riddled with manipulation, obsession, and misguided love. Ridge, Steffi, and even Hope herself had spent years trying to keep him from spiraling into darkness. And now, Hope was saying that she, of all people, had fallen for him? "Hope," Carter began, choosing his words carefully, "you're an incredible woman. Your heart is one of the purest I know. But Thomas, you have to admit, he hasn't exactly been the most stable person in your life. Are you sure about this?" Hope's eyes burned with conviction. "I know what Thomas has done, and I know what he's been through to change. He isn't the same man he was, Carter. I wouldn't be standing here if I didn't believe that." "I don't care what Ridge thinks," Hope interrupted firmly. "Or my mother, or anyone else. I've spent my whole life being the perfect Logan, the one who always makes the right choices. But what if the right choice for me isn't what everyone else expects?" Carter knew that feeling all too well. He had spent years making decisions based on what was expected of him, and it had cost him deeply. He studied Hope, seeing something in her that hadn't been there before. An edge, a fire, a woman stepping into her own power. "Hope," he said, softer this time, "you have to be sure. Because if you go down this path, it won't just be whispers behind your back. It'll be full-on war. Are you ready for that?" Carter exhaled deeply. "Then I guess it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. But be careful, Hope. Love, it's powerful. But it can also be dangerous." A small smile touched her lips, though her eyes remained serious. "I know, Carter. But for the first time in a long time, I feel alive. And I'm not turning back now." As Hope turned and walked away, Carter stood rooted to the spot, Ridge's words from earlier still reverberating in his head.